Hello guys, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Hopefully you slept well, knowing that your boy was gonna escape from the bleak depths of life. It's an understatement to say that SpongeBob SquarePants is the biggest animated show that brings joy to millions of kids and adults alike, and for good reason. The amusing and cleverly written characters and humor, to the storylines and visual gags. I could go on and on. It's no secret that it's the face of Nickelodeon. It's literally the defined surface level knowledge cartoon. Whether it's most people from Gen X, Y, C, or even Alpha, a lot of people from these generations probably know about the existence of this yellow sponge that has had a positive impact on the medium of animation and the world as a whole. Knowing about the show's existence is so predictable that even your uncle might know the show. I love SpongeBob a lot. It's one of my favorite comfort shows. It's a big part of my childhood. Every other time I watch an episode of the show, I barely laugh throughout. It's that funny. Whether it's an episode from season 1, 10, or even the worst season of the show in my opinion, which isn't even close to being bad, season 7. Most SpongeBob fans here on social media would tell you that only the first 3 seasons and first movie are good. And my stance is that those people only like 25% of the whole show, by the way, so I don't know why they are acting like they are fans of the show. I just talk about Jimmy Neutron or something. Great show, by the way. Season 4 to present day SpongeBob really gets so much slack. My honest opinion is that the only good seasons are seasons 1 to 5 and 10 to 12. Haven't seen enough episodes of seasons 13 to 16 to come to a conclusion on them. And seasons 6 to 9 combined together are just decent in my opinion. If you've never heard or seen an image of this show, then you'd probably be living under a rock or in a third world country.
Now that I think about it, even some of the first world countries like my own might be third world countries at this point.
Wait, why did I turn this video about a talking sea sponge that lives in a pineapple into a cry for help? Anyways, it should be preschool habermas knowledge that SpongeBob is Nickelodeon's flagship IP franchise. Franchise alone has printed over $12 billion for Paramount alone. If you don't know why I randomly mentioned Paramount, then congratulations, you touch a shitload of grass. Don't rub it in my face. Paramount is the parent company of Nickelodeon. You see, Paramount is a company, and companies try to make money. How does Paramount do this?
By bringing on Ice Spice to play herself in the new theatrical SpongeBob movie that is...
Yes, what I'm talking about.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Nah, but seriously, why is it that the rapper who shakes booty every other music video gets to be involved in a family movie? You may be surprised that I'm less conflicted on this casting decision than you think I am. More on this later. Anyways, obviously Ice Spice being in the new SpongeBob movie isn't how Paramount uses the SpongeBob franchise to make money. They make merch, movies, spin-offs, and that includes movies, by the way. The movie franchise has a mixed track record. As of when this video is coming out, 6 SpongeBob movies have been released. If that fact doesn't surprise you, then I should tell you that Mickey fucking Mouse hasn't gotten a theatrical adaptation in the nearly 100 years he has existed. 2 of the SpongeBob movies in the franchise are spin-offs. Pretty sure there's more spin-offs in production. What's my opinion on the SpongeBob movie franchise? Well, the first movie is perfect. The second movie is pretty good. Saw that one in cinemas. The third one isn't really as bad as most critics here on YouTube say it is. If anything, at worst, the movie is lame. However, the movie that they made after this one, the Sandy Chicks movie, yeah, I'm genuinely convinced that that one might be bad, as I've heard bad word of mouth from reception of it. I did call the movie horrendous in a video I made earlier this year, but I don't really have the right to have an opinion on this movie. I do have the right to choose whether or not I want to watch the movie though. It's not a good thing to have your opinion on pieces of media entirely influenced by other people's opinions. I haven't seen it, but honestly I couldn't be bothered. Maybe one day in the future when I rank all the SpongeBob movies, I will watch it to form my own opinion on it. The Plankton movie surprised me though. Movie is actually a good movie. Now we come to our main topic, search for SquarePants. If you are an OG Stewboy VIP viewer, You would remember that in a lame ass video that I made over a year ago, I said that I would make a video on the 4th theatrical movie, which is really the 3rd theatrical movie because Sponge on the Run was locked to streaming services like Netflix and Paramount Plus internationally due to 2020 being 2020. I'm still gonna call Search for SquarePants the 4th theatrical movie though because number 1, Sponge on the Run was intended to play in theaters. Number 2, the movie played in theaters in Canada anyways, which is a country in North America. The same continent that the movie was produced in anyways, so that counts for something. That's only the case for this movie in my book. Plus who knows, maybe in 2030 when the movie turns 10, it will actually play in theaters in its home country as an anniversary event. I don't really care whether or not Search for SquarePants is good or not. I'm still gonna enjoy it either way. I saw the Minecraft movie in theaters, I'll be fine. Scratch what I said. A plot synopsis was revealed for this movie a while ago. It actually seems interesting. The Flying Dutchman who is a pirate has something to do with the plot of the movie. That's honestly sick. One of the major flaws that Sponge on the Run suffered from was that the plot was dry. I know it just sounds like I'm repeating points from critics, but I actually felt like they were doing a rehash on the first movie. Say all you want about Sponge Out of Water. Yes, apparently that movie had mixed reception online, but at least it had an original and interesting plot that would actually have eyes open on the screen. So my hopes are a bit higher for this movie. Again, I'm still keeping my hopes relatively low. I'm hoping for the movie to be at least half decent, and at best just barely being a good movie. People better not use that exhausting and bad faith kids movie argument, because the first 2 movies, and even the Plankton movie existed. Basically, the talking cheese who flips burgers goes to hell to prove that he's a big guy. The promotion for this movie was not really handled well by Paramount. You'd think that they would advertise their movie dies based on their biggest IP properly, but nope. They released a mediocre teaser that didn't really do the movie justice in July, and basically said nothing about it for a whole third of the year. Then November came, and Paramount finally started kicking up promotion of the movie. Paramount probably wanted to wait until the last month to actually use their marketing budget, which doesn't really make sense when they had a whole summer to do that. Families are literally touring countries around that period. They have free time to actually see promotions through billboards and other means of promotion. Why not do it in advance when families have more time to spare? Anyways, the same day the trailer dropped, I watched it on the way home from school. If you were on the first bus that I was on my way home, chances are you heard me chuckle a few times. You can blame it on the trailer for Search for SquarePants. Oh, who am I kidding? No one who was on that bus is sacrificing their time to watch this 6 out of 10 at best video. I actually liked the trailer. It had a few solid jokes in it. It actually had me mildly sold on the movie. The plot seems to be even more intriguing. The visuals look nice. The underworld looks striking on the eyes, however the animation just looks okay. I missed the 2D animated era of the movie, man. They looked so creatively beautiful. They were the personification of eye candy. I don't have beef with 3D animation though. 3D animation looks great most of the time. It was revealed that in this trailer, Ice Spice was gonna play a character in this movie, and she also made a song promoting the movie. This sparked outrage in the SpongeBob fandom. Now what do I think of this decision? It adds to the comedy of the film. It's more funny than jarring to me. The song attached with the movie that Ice Spice made is aggressively lame though. What the hell is a SpongeBob big guy pants okay? It's not the first time that a not so family friendly artist was associated with a SpongeBob movie, but I don't know, man. When you think of Ice Spice, you think of provocative booty shaking. Even then, it all comes down to the responsibility of the parents who are taking their kids to watch the movie. I think there was a video on Twitter where Ice Spice was talking about how she managed to make it on the movie, and it was a dream since childhood to be on SpongeBob. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kinda sweet. Good for her. Takeaway is that the Bob Cinema 4 November trailer good. On my journey to and from school this past month, I have been seeing some buses displaying movie posters for the movie. I've even been on one of them. I'm deadass when I say that shit gave me serotonin. Here's a fun fact. This movie was originally planned to be a spin-off streaming service locked film centered on Mr. Krabs. However, Paramount executives were mesmerized when they saw the first draft of the streaming version of the movie, so it got reworked into a theatrical release. Someone who worked on the script on the South Park movie, which is one of my favorite animated movies, is writing the script for this movie, which is another good sign. Again, only OG BIP Stew Boy viewers will get the call back. Did I forget to mention the TMT Christmas short attached to it? I'm pretty sure we're more than 10 minutes into this video by now. To be fair, I did write this part of the video exactly a week before I'll be seeing the movie in theaters. Now let's jump into the actual review, which is gonna be brief as the title of this video suggested, as I'm not really the best at reviewing movies. I can proudly say that the 2025 movie, based on the smash hit Nickelodeon series SpongeBob SquarePants, is fucking shit. You thought I really was gonna dogpile the movie throughout, anticipating for me to call it mid or bad because it's modern, right? Oh boy, you clicked on the wrong video then. Don't mind me as I go on a little tangent here. Not all good movies are inherently fun. I saw the Minecraft movie at the cinema with my twin brother and friends this year. Did I find the movie fun? Yes. But to be fair, that was mostly due to me having neat company. We all made fun of the movie in our own ways and talked about our thoughts on it, which in itself was fun. Watching it with friends or not, it still would have been a fun movie to poke fun at, as it made me feel a range of things. So yeah, the movie was fun. Was it good though? Well, I did say that I poked fun at it. Earlier this year I watched Oppenheimer. Did I like that movie? Yes. Did I find it necessarily fun though? Not really. That movie doesn't scream fun vibes though. Not saying that's a bad thing, it just really doesn't. Anyways, I went into the cinema thinking that the new SpongeBob film was gonna be at least a kinda mid film. Best case scenario would be that it would be a baseline good movie, so just barely making it what I'd consider to be a good film. But it actually did something that my skeptical mind was not going to expect. I walked into a movie that wasn't only fun, I also walked into a movie that was pretty good at the same time. Just like the Plankton movie, this film surprised me, starting off with the plot. I'm not really going to try to spoil much, so I ain't saying much about the plot other than how I found it. The plot was really good, it was intriguing. Some people who have seen this movie felt like this movie's plot felt similar to the first one. And yes, while to some extent it does, different things happen. What drives the plot of the first movie is Plankton. He is the sole reason as to why SpongeBob and Patrick had to go on one of the most life-threatening journeys that they've ever been to. SpongeBob did have insecurities about him being a definitive man or not, yes, but his insecurities do not drive the plot of that movie. In contrast, in this movie, SpongeBob's insecurities do drive the plot of this movie. Both acts of this movie are good, in my opinion. The pacing is pretty fast in the first act, so it gets a bit hard to follow what is going on at some points, but the character interactions, settings, and humor make up for it. The pacing gets a bit slower in the second act, which makes for a more impactful and coherent movie, with all the tense moments happening. It's not the funniest film in the world, and heck, doesn't even come close. It can be quite amusing and even hilarious at times. There was one scene piled up with jokes, with amazing build-up and character exchanges between SpongeBob, Patrick, the Flying Dutchman and his sidekick in the movie, that made me laugh out loud in the cinema, to the point where I'd think all the other people there, apart from my family of course, would think I'm a maniac. The Lucky Brick joke that was featured in the trailer is peak cinema, of course. There were some other funny character interactions and gags as well. Sadly, characters like Plankton and Sandy didn't get enough screen time. Plankton didn't even get 30 seconds of screen time, and that is a bit of a bummer to me, as Plankton is my favorite character in this show. We got a hilarious meta joke interrupting the movie about Sandy not getting enough screen time. It was honestly one of the funniest jokes of the movie in my opinion, due to the timing and dialogue. And plus, Plankton and Sandy have their own movies. The visuals were also neat as mentioned before. You could really see the movie budget of $64 million shine in some places, like the shading and the backgrounds, especially the underworld. Those backgrounds looked creatively sinister, which made sense for the underworld's relevance in the movie. The atmosphere is just chef's kiss, man. I love how they characterized Mr. Krabs in this film. He is shown to have a kindred soul with SpongeBob with their character dynamic. Mr. Krabs honestly feels like an older brother to him in this film. Their dynamic is probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. The Flying Dutchman is now one of my top 3 favorite villains in the SpongeBob movie franchise. SpongeBob War is still my second favorite film in the franchise. My opinion might change in the future though. However, the villain in that movie is kinda mid. He had barely any screen time and was only revealed to be the villain in the last 30 minutes or so. Plus, he wasn't really all that threatening and cool at all. Tangent aside, the Flying Dutchman had some cool ass motivations in this movie, and his voice actor does a pretty good job at portraying how manipulative and threatening he is. Speaking of his voice actor, for some reason he has a different voice actor only attached to this project. The person who plays him in this film is called Mark Hamill. And I was recently just finding out that he voice acted Skips in regular show. Looks like Skips is one of SpongeBob's ops. This movie was packed with solid action scenes. Plus it has some nice ass foreshadowing as well. When the credits rolled out, the song Big Guy played, in which that song played earlier in the movie. Unexpectedly, some random kid was talking about how Big Guy was trending on TikTok. Why are you mentioning this irrelevant and dumb shit to the video, you may ask? I just wanted to add a little pizzazz to the video. Not every video covering this film is gonna have an interesting story in it like the one I just shared. Also, I live in the UK. Here we are very silent in movie screenings. But I was utterly shocked when the audience applauded when the credits rolled. I won't lie when I say that this movie did have some flaws. Like for example, some of the jokes weren't executed well, and some other stuff that I don't think I can properly explain here. But for what it still is a pretty good movie that I think you should watch with your family members or friends this holiday if you want to see SpongeBob in the big screen again. It's pretty fun and has pretty solid humor and a good plot. I still think the first movie is better as expected, but I think it slightly marks the Plankton movie. I did say that Plankton was my favorite character in the show, but there's something about this movie that I just can't explain in detail properly that just makes it slightly better to me. I watched this movie on opening weekend. Apparently it isn't really doing the best at the box office. I'm sure it will pick up some steam later in its theatrical run. It has opened in only a few countries. Even if the movie doesn't do well, Nickelodeon would probably still do more theatrical movies, and as long as those movies still prove to have real hard work and soul put into them, then I won't really be complaining. Plus, these late Gen Alpha kids need SpongeBob as well, and it's nice for them to experience the joy of seeing him on the big screen as well. I'm not validating for them to make more movies though, but it will definitely happen. SpongeBob is Nickelodeon's cash cow, and there's really nothing you can do about it. It's safe to say that every SpongeBob movie that got a theatrical release, outside of Canada of course, is good, in my opinion though. Thank you guys for sticking till the end. I wanna briefly talk. This will be my last video of 2025, and my last video for a while actually. I made a community post going into detail as to why this is the case, but it won't hurt to just very briefly explain. Basically, I have a life. That's all I really needed to say. If you want, you can just read the community post. I will be sharing the link to it in the description. I'm not gonna be gone for that long though. I will be back in about 3 months I'd say. My upload schedule won't be as consistent though. Even then it wasn't really that consistent. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great New Year celebration. See you sometime soon.